Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. You know, there's a thing you've heard about called we'll read for food, we'll read and sing for books, we'll read and sing for many different things. It's a fundraising group that is kind of loosely organized that does things to help raise funds for local events. Well, there is one that's coming up called We'll Read and Sing for TRICAP. And joining me in the studio is Scott Saalman, who is the organizer?
Sure.
Okay, the organizer of the We'll Read and Sing for blank, and Joyce Fleck, who's the executive director for TRICAP. And Joyce, we're going to start with you first of all. The ladies first, always.
Okay.
And in the middle of this interview, we're going to stop and take a little break and have a scene from one of the acts that you'll see at the We'll Read and Sing for TRICAP. Joyce, TRICAP is tell us about the organization, and then why do you need funds?
Okay, well, Bill, thank you for having us on today. TRICAP is we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We always need funds, even though a lot of people think we don't because we get grant funds. Grant funds quite often require a local match. So this is one of the many methods that we're doing just that, to meet our local match for our grants. And as you know, we've been on before, lots and lots of programs. We finally just decided to do one for TRICAP versus calling out an individual program for the fundraiser so that we can use the funds as needed for each of our programs. But we are the local community action agency, one of about 1,000 in the country, one of 23 in the state, and we all do different things to help folks lift them out of poverty.
Okay, and TRICAP stands for what?
Tri means three. Du Bois, Pike, and Warwick counties are our three charter counties, CAP, Community Action Programs.
Okay. And you don't just do one or two little
no.
things. No. You're I'm looking at this list, and there is a lot that you do. Without getting too detailed into all of them, what are some of them?
Well, we have a variety of health, housing, and educational services, and a lot of people are always amazed at the scope of our services and our service area network. You can share that later if you'd like, but it's really and truly a 40-county area, not just Du Bois, Pike, and Warwick. But the majority of our services are in these three counties, Du Bois, Pike, and Warwick. And we have about 70 employees who deploy multiple programs. The housing programs, the weatherization, we've talked about that before. The energy assistance, which is pretty hot, summer heat wave right now, but in the winter time, you appreciate the work that is done on your homes to have them weatherized so that you can save utility assistance in the winter months. And then we have I'm trying to go
There's so many
I'm trying to go acronym free here because if I'm going to spew out an acronym, I'm going to do this in layman's terms. There's a homeowner occupied rehabilitation program, and if you fit within the income guidelines, and they're different for all of our programs. So I always tell people, if in doubt, if you think you're over income, ask anyway. We'll do what we can to find a way. But we can do structural improvements to homes and things like that with grant funds. They're very limited. We have the individual development account funds, which is one of my favorite programs. It truly lifts people out of poverty, shows them how to save their money. They go through, it's a 4-year course, and they learn how to better manage their funds. And at the end, they get a match of grant funds to what they have saved through earned income, must be working, and they can further their higher education to improve their job skills. They can do a down payment on a home or start up a business. So that's been a great program. Those are just a few of our housing services. Health programs, of course, family planning, I've said this before, not the same as Planned Parenthood, no abortions, none of that. Most recently, there's been a lot of attention to our Teen Wellness Center program. There's a lot of changes coming down the pike with that. I can't really describe now because we're still in the planning stages of all of that. And then the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Services Program, that's one we did last fall for October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The We'll Read for Food did a special show just for that program.
Good show.
It's a great show. And then we have the educational programs, which consist of course, Head Start. Most people are aware of the ages 3, 4, and 5-year-old children. We have about 193 children on any given day that we are providing preschool services for, and in some cases wrap around full-day daycare for them as well. Very comprehensive program. And the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, again, it's always raising money as well. There's multiple fundraisers. You have to get on our website to look at everything that we're doing. And then the Home-Based Services Healthy Families Program is ages 0 to 3, and it's a parent education and referral program. I'm just going through these really quickly.
That's okay.
Yeah, foreclosure prevention services. We have saved just this year alone, this is almost the end of July, over 30 homes just this year. just this year.
So all of these programs take money, and
Yes.
all of this is donations and grants.
Right.
And you usually don't get grants unless you've got donations to match
Correct.
those. Okay, well, which leads us to Scott Saalman,
Yes.
who is out of the kindness of his heart, and many other people are working together to put together We'll Read for TriCap.
Correct.
Okay, we'll read and sing. Okay.
There's a lot of music. That's important.
All right. Well, let's talk about the show that is coming up this Sunday. What is that? August 4th, I believe. Okay.
Right. 6 p.m. You know, it's a mix of unique mix of music and humor essays. Sometimes the music goes with the essays as we're reading them, and sometimes we got flat out just songs being played. A lot of original songs written by members of our cast. We have some covers too that people like. But who will be there that day? Chris Lasher and Abby Rumbach, who is a very funny writer. She's on the Huffington Post. She's picked up there, so she has some nice cred. I'll be reading. Got a guest reader named Gene Baldwin. He teaches out at WJC. Billy and Buddy Hart, Ed Walston, Mark Stezik cannot make it that night, so we'll miss Mark. But Acacia Schwartz-Phillips is with us, great pianist. Making sure I didn't forget somebody. Rob Zaricki is going to be a guest. Danielle Lee is joining us for a couple of songs. And then there's the Sisters of 2nd Avenue, who I discovered on Facebook, will be a guest. It's 4 sisters who grew up in a home on 2nd Avenue. I think they range from 19 to 28. Beautiful harmony, so we're wanting to give them a shot to spread their music. It's beautiful, original stuff, and they'll be a good fit for us. So it's going to be a fun show.
Okay, now this is a different kind of concept because it's a show of many different things put together in many different genres, and there's reading and there's singing. How did you come up with this? Where did this idea that you've been doing for a couple of years come from?
Well, I think, Bill, since I write, you know, I'm in the Herald, and I'm published here and there and everywhere, and I always like readings. I like going to readings, I like doing readings, but I wanted to be able to read some of my stuff, my funny stuff, because I never hear the laughs when it's in the paper or wherever, and so, but I got with Chris Lasher, and we talked a bit, and I told her, Chris, this is what I want to do. I also know it has to have music or nobody's going to come. And so, and the third thing was it has to help somebody, and all on a voluntary basis, and we decided, and I volunteered at the food bank, and I said, I want to help the food bank by raising funds through this show. And so Chris took it forward to VUJC to present the idea because we thought about doing the show there, and Allie Bear there was open to it, and voila, we're 20 going on 29 shows, I believe, and we're up to close to $12,000 in donations raised for. Half of it's probably food bank, but other things are the Susan Coleman thing, TriCap, Crisis Connection, various libraries, and so it's fun. We're meeting a lot of people. We got good word of mouth, and last night we had a show at the Ferdinand Library, and I asked how many had been here before and how many hadn't, and it's about 50-50. So that's good. We're getting new. We're retaining some others, but it's just been really fun to do.
Do you charge an admission, or is it more donation based?
It depends on the show. The TriCap will be set $8, $5 for students. And usually, you know, the food bank shows, what's really neat is bring a can of corn, you're in, or a monetary donation. Well, I figured we'd have more cans of corn than you could house, and to come to find out, we're getting more money in the fish bowl than canned goods. So people are so giving in this county, as you know, and this definitely is another example of how people are coming forward and making our communities better places, you know. So. Okay,
well, Scott, we're going to take a break here. And we're going to go and show a scene with you and Chris Lasher. One of the things that will be at the show, right? Can you kind of describe what we're going to see?
Yeah, what you're going to see is actually, it's a piece about lullabies, and actually, if anything sparked We'll Read for Food, this is the first time I ever did anything with Chris at a spoken word event hosted by Rock Emmert a few years ago, and I had this piece about how we would sing lullabies to my son when he was a baby, and so I had these lyrics from the actual CD, and I was speaking it, and then I said I want somebody to sing the lyrics, and So I got Chris, and we performed it at a spoken word event, and it just went over well. And you know, it's one of my favorite pieces. So,
What's the name of the piece? Has it got a name?
Lulla Lies.
Lulla Lies. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to show now this Lulla Lies featuring Scott Saalman and Chris Lasher on WJTS.
It is bedtime for Austin, and his mother plays lullabies while rocking her son on the glider rocker. Nearby, the CD player paints the mind of our sleepy little boy with songs from a CD titled A Child's Gift of Lullabies, one of the best and most used baby gifts we've received. When the CD lulls our son to sleep, the world offers nothing sweeter. I too grow sleepy. That is, until I begin taking the lyrics too literally. Then the mood is ruined, and I can't help but lose sleep over lullabies. One song, Tomorrow We'll Go to the Fair, begins this way.
The sooner you sleep, the sooner you'll wake. The night will go faster, as quick as a wink. The morning will break, soon we'll be there. Tomorrow we'll go to the fair.
Fair? What fair? There is no fair tomorrow. There are no painted horses like the song promises, no carefree clowns to laugh at.
Scott, it's just a song.
Sure, when Austin wakes up in the morning all excited about going to the fair, you be the one to tell him that it was just a song. To promise him a fair when there actually is no fair is just so, well, unfair. These aren't lullabies, these are lullabies.
Oh, brother.
Suddenly, Austin, startled by my voice, cries in the dark.
Now see what you did? The merry-go-round will go up and down. We'll raise our voices and sing merrily.
Like magic, our boy is peaceful again. When the CD finishes lying about the fair, it plays Someday Baby, which mentions butterflies soaring through the sky and crickets chirping wing to wing. The subject matter alarms me, so I clear my throat a few times.
Now what?
The song is about insects.
And that bugs you?
How can it not? When I was a kid, after saying my prayers, my mom would habitually tell me to sleep tight and don't let the bugs eat ya. Then she would leave me alone in total darkness, wide-eyed with fear, trembling, waiting for those darn bugs to start biting. I am hushed when Austin begins to whimper.
If I could, I would give you wings to lift you way up in the air.
Wings? You want to give our son wings? Don't you think he's enough of a handful just crawling? Imagine him flying around in our house, constantly bumping his head on our ceiling. That can't be good for his soft spot. It'll drive the dog and cat nuts. I can just hear it. Every time I start to relax, you'll say, "Honey, get the broom. Austin is caught in the hanging philodendron again."
Wings, little wings, wings in the wink of an eye. Soon your little wings will be big enough to fly.
Sensing that I'm about to be banned from the baby room, I force myself to pay less attention to the lyrics and allow the lullabies to bypass my cynicism. My personal favorite, Hushabye Street plays.
The nightingale's calling, the first stars in sight, and the man in the moon softly whispers good night. Come into my arms where a dreamer can meet the lullaby lady from Hushabye Street.
My eyelids soon forfeit to the weight of the night.
Scott,
Huh? What?
sleep tight and don't let the bugs eat you.
Suddenly, I'm sleepless in southern Indiana. Our son, though, has been put down in his crib where he is asleep again for another night, thanks to his gift of lullabies. I watch him for a while in that soft glow of the nightlight, just to make sure the bugs don't bite.
Tomorrow we'll go to the fair.
Well, we hope you enjoyed Lullabies. That is one of the performances you'll see at the Will Read and Sing for TriCap. And Joyce, if you could once again recap when the show is, where it is, and the admission charge.
Okay, great. Thank you, Bill. It's 6 o'clock this Sunday, August 4th at Southridge High School Auditorium in Huntingburg. Suggested donations, $8 adults, $5 for students. Bring your whole family. It's a great, wholesome family show. Hope to see you there.
Okay, well, find out more about TRICAP by going online, but better yet, show up at the show this Sunday night. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.